Hello everyone, welcome in. I'm Chef JJ. How are you doing this lovely Friday? Hopefully you've had a lovely week. It's Can It Be Delicious night. We've got cans. I am mildly... Is music loud for everyone else tonight? Let's turn music down a little bit. Okay. I'm a little concerned for tonight. Like, things that I have around the house to mix and match and use with everything here has me concerned. Well, we'll see. Let's make some coffee. Welcome in, everyone. Hopefully you're having an okay start to your week. Hello there, Zeeks. How's your Raspberry Pi bothering you? My motivation level this afternoon was low. I think I'm starting to pick up a bit now, but it's been a trudge for me today. I'm not 100% on what lizard is. I'm having some funny guesses. I'm thinking maybe it's mouse tracking of some form. I've missed that. I'm not a TikTok person, though. My apologies. Like, I've done like TikTok trend things and stuff like that on stream. It's been more of a case where like I've researched what the current trends were on TikTok. Like, I don't watch TikTok. I basically don't watch short form vertical video. I know that makes me old, but I just can't do it. I poured too much in there. Oh well. Were you the one that was always talking to me about the cable that you had that you could spy on people with? That's the international symbol for a cable, by the way, chat. You should understand that one. Here's the logo. And get the coffee poured here, and then we'll get into voting on cans. It's been a slog for me. I'm feel like I'm getting a second wind or something here at the beginning of stream, but I had a rough 2 p.m. today. Oh, nothing really wrong's logo. I'm just. It was just a low energy day. Regardless of me whining, thank all of you for joining me this lovely evening. Cheers. Let's go in with our first vote here. Fluffy uses the name Bakery these days, I think. our first set of cans to choose from. Lucky number 4. We got a 3-minute timer on this poll. Ooh, off to a quick double tie. We got a 3-way race here. Let's see here. No pull tab on 1, pull tab on 2, none on 3, none on 4, and none on 5. So 2 is our only pull tab. I think 4 is the new can this month. Not sure on that. Who's gonna break the tie? No one? No one's gonna... Now we have to have another vote. Now we have to have a tiebreaker. One-minute timer on the new poll. Oh. The ooze are for the ties. We got another person in here, and we're tied back up. Arrgh. It's gonna be between 2 and 3 now. We're... Let's see if we get the votes for it. With lag, people have to be watching, so... Ooh. Alright, so we ended up with can number 3 when I thought 2 and 4 were really the favorites overall. You want to know the ones you didn't pick now, or all together at the end? Let's do the ones that you didn't get now. Oh, hey, we got a new vote up. People voting before there's even cans in front of you. Let's see. We have a pop top on 2, 3, 2 and 3. And while that's going on there, we'll show the poll in chat or in window 2. We're on with another tie. You didn't pick corn. You didn't pick mushrooms, stems and pieces. That was the new one. Asparagus spears. And baby corn. So we started off with the veggies. I thought the stems and pieces of mushrooms was a big of a ew factor for chat that I decided to replace it after it got picked last time. Got another tie going? What's with you tonight, chat? We need a breaker. Who's gonna break this tie, chat? Out of everyone out there. Please. Yeah, I don't get the stems and pieces. Like, it's like the... Let's advertise it like... It's really like sliced mini button mushrooms. But at the same... Like... No. I would use the browser source that they list there, but it doesn't show it reliably. Using the browser source, and so I'm just using window capture. Which camera? The cameras that I'm using are actually, other than maybe the Brios, are not sold anymore. There's one more that's not even on that scene. These are both the overview camera and main camera are PTZ cams, pan tilt zoom cams. There are a wide variety of manufacturers. They're all in the office sector. It's not so much there is not a Logitech company. It is a 4K camera. I wish I had a 6K camera actually for my main camera, but... And then it's a 4K camera that I'm broadcasting at... Well, actually now I'm broadcasting at 1440, but before I was broadcasting at 1080, and so there was all sorts of lovely compression on it, but not anymore. So we're down to 1, 2, and 4, as I've been lost in chatting. We have pull tab on 2, no pull tab on 4. Someone else vote! Someone else vote, please! 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 No, too many! Two and 4. So, I need some cold air blowing on me. We have a winner. Do we have a winner of round 2? No! No! I'm coin flipping this. You can't vote between 2. You're getting a coin flip. Two is heads. Two gets it. One was unmarked. Small white beans. Pinto beans. And black beans. What did you give me, chat? Oh, hey, I forgot to turn the scene off. That's great. New poll is up. Interesting. Is it showing that the new poll is up when it does? It should be showing up the overlays. I haven't noticed. Let's see. We have pull tab on 2. And that is it. Sorry, so welcome in. One and 4. Ooh, we got fans of 1 holding back for competition. I'm keeping the quarter out. One, 3, and 4. Hmm. Nice. Well, hopefully you're in a place that you're cool and like, I'm saying it's cool that you're sweating because I could use some exercise and it would be cool if I actually got out and did that. But I could, yeah. I'm in such a want to just hang out outside in like a hammock or a lounge chair or by the pool kind of mood today. Like, I am just like, I just want to check out today. We get one as a winner. Number one is number two. Peach filling. Cranberry sauce. Mandarin oranges. Or no, that was the wrong number. Pumpkin. So those were the ones you didn't choose, chat. I don't have the trees outside my... When I first moved into this house, there was two lovely trees right, like, there and there. And I had a hammock going between them for several years. And actually, neither one of those trees is there anymore, unfortunately. And pull tabs on 1, 3, and 5. Thank you. Early push for 3. I'm afraid to look at what all you got me tonight, chat. I looked up one of them and I'm not happy. Where's the hammock now? It's a knitted hammock, and it's like rolled up, and it's been hanging out on my porch for years now. I have no idea if it's even in good quality anymore. I don't have I bought at one point some really nice strap hooks for them too, and they got taken out with the trees. One of them disappeared, and the other one was just like ingrown in the tree by the time they took it down. I think those are pretty small compared to the one that I have. Like, this one is pretty big. I don't know why I'm so zoomed in on my face here. So we got a 3 and 5 tie this round. We'll give one round of 3 versus 5. I'm gonna be done with my coffee by the time we fix what I'm gonna use for making dinner tonight. We still got one more round to go, chat. Ooh. Oh my God. I'd probably die of starvation before the cans went bad. Most of these have more than a year on their date, I think. Like, even the ones that I'm a little bit more worried about, like some of the meat ones that have they typically only have a couple of years on their expiration dates. I mean, it's all canned food, and you see stuff like 50 years old, people open up it.
Isn't it so much nicer, Michael? I think it's great.
So 3 wins that round. I didn't look. I started to, but I didn't actually look. Okay, last round on that. What didn't we pick this round? Beef gravy. Country sausage gravy. That was the new can. Green enchilada sauce. That was also a new can. Or nacho cheese sauce. Those are all the ones you didn't choose for tonight. I don't know, one of them you gave me 3 cans of tomatoes, so that one probably wasn't too bad, but yeah. Some of the other ones probably have been up there. We have a tie between the rectangle cans. The purists out there may be able to identify which one is which. We'll see. There's actually sort of 3 cans of Spam in this tin tonight. Like, I don't remember for sure what you are. Oh. It's actually an optical illusion. 3 is taller than 2, but 2 is fatter than 3. Ugh, dad joke. Like, half of the time, I'm gonna be honest with all of you lovely people, half of the time I don't even pay attention to who's writing what they're saying. And so I then read the bot's messages as though it's just someone else in chat. And so half of the time the jokes, like, I don't realize it's a joke until like halfway through. So we have a tie between 2 and 3. We have had more than one vote on every single round tonight, chat. It is surprising how 3 looks like it's lower than 2 until you sort of like follow the rims of the two of them. Like 2 goes underneath 3. It's really sort of a weird, yeah. Oops. That was supposed to be, yeah. I think 3's getting it. I did not. How many people are in chat? Like... I didn't put a number on this one, but I'm pretty sure it's canned clams. This is spam. Number 2 is spam. 4 is, I think, Croatian spam? Yeah. Luncheon patty loaf from Croatia. And number 5 is the corned beef hash, which has been here since the beginning and you have never chosen it. Actually, the spam has been here since the beginning too, and you have always chosen the alternative. I don't know why my window capture is still up. So, we have luncheon meat as our first reveal of what I have to cook with tonight. Sunny Select, a name that I have never heard of before. At least it's not fake meat, luncheon meat this time. So within luncheon meat, we have cream of chicken, almond pie filling, artichoke hearts, and we're going to open this one to find out. Yeah, it's mostly sugar from what I remember on the label. This is looking tomato-y. Yeah, these are tomatoes. Hello, Will. Welcome in, Nan Reader. Ooh, got like the... I was expecting this to be like almond paste and be like pure white. Definitely smells of almond though. It smells of vanilla too, but it's Oh, and I've got ants searching all over my kitchen tonight for some reason. It's the first time I've noticed them. I noticed them about 5 minutes before stream started, actually. And I've caught several since. Don't know what they're after, but there's another one. Okay. Wow. That looks processed. That looks even more processed than I remember Spam looking like. This, I think, is going to be relatively easy. This, I think I've got an idea for. I'm a little torn on this right now. Very happy that I got some lemon juice in the house right now, though. Trying to think. Maybe I'll just serve it with them. Or we could do that too. Now I'm dithering between, do I use them as a salad? I have some spinach. I bought some spinach to have in the house since that was somewhat versatile. I can use it for all sorts of different things. So we could go artichoke spinach salad starter and then do like something with this. Or we could somehow combine all three. That's really the one I'm trying to do here. This, I'm thinking we can do... I'm still trying to use the potatoes. We can do the potatoes and coat them in this for getting them a nice coating, nice char, that sort of a thing. This, we can throw some cookies together. I could do a pie, a mini pie. We could do hand pies. There's all sorts of stuff that I could do with this. There's not a ton that I'm gonna think I can mix these through. Like, maybe if I wanted to add some almond flavor to something, but I can already tell by looking at this and the fact that I read the label, it's basically sugar, so it's got a great mouthfeel to it. Yeah, maybe it's the mouthfeel. It's got the got like almond skin or something. There's some sort of particle there that I'm not loving, but do I have any bacon? I do not. Well, I have my own bacon. I don't have chips to use with that, though. I guess I could make chips. No pita bread. I have bread, but normal bread. I can make tortillas and fry tortillas. I'm still trying to think of soup or something that I could use those three together with. Yeah, that might actually be the way to go. Yeah. Tomato, artichoke heart, lemon, and pork with a lighter, like, I wish I had some veg broth. Crispy potatoes and almond cookies is what I'm sort of leaning towards right now. I think that's what's going to happen. Because I just don't feel like making tortillas. Like, that's not a bad play. They're trying to grow. We can't have that. I want to eat them. We don't want them trying to make babies. No baby making potatoes. Do some large chunks on our potatoes tonight. These big ones will go in the center. Take these and cover them in water. Throw them up on the stove. Little salt in there. Ew. Just wanted to make sure you got the sound effects there. I suggest, it's probably got to be horrible for you, most certainly a cheat meal item, but if you see in my slideshow, at one point, I made Spam fries. Delicious. Like, I thin cut it, like, from here. Battered and, egg battered and, I think I did regular breadcrumbs on them. And fried them. And then I put them back in the can for presentation. Tonight, I think we're I think we're going to go with a diced cube. Or I don't really have enough. Well, I have bread. We can use bread. Yeah. That's what's happening. This isn't staying spam at all tonight, chat. I had an idea. You're defrosted, you don't need a flame on you anymore. Cutting through on purpose. oil and butter in the pan. Well, butter if I have any to frost it, which I don't. Not seeing any butter sales lately. We'll let those saute for a bit. And I'll break a couple of cloves up. It's so nice being off of Twitch's automatic ad roll thing. Like, it's a little irritating every now and then when I want to add to play, at a different time, but it is so much nicer to be able to look up there, see the pre-roll off figure, and know, okay, I don't have to deal with another ad until that runs out. Though I leaked on the Discord what my dashboard for SprinkleBot looks like. I'm not even looking at it right now, but it does have a beautiful little alert for ads for me. Well, the problem with Twitch's ad thing is it works against you. Like, it gives you this, like, you can do these, like, breaks things, and unless you regularly claim the breaks, it doesn't give you, like, all the time off of ads that you really think you're getting off. Like, it's handy for visual, but now that I've got it set up so that it's just playing the last 3 minutes of the hour every hour, that little bit of confusion in the stats is just gone. Alright, so we got some onion and garlic going. We're going to be doing spam meatballs tonight with our tomato and artichokes heart soup. We'll do some onion in the soup itself too, but we're putting the mince here that's sauteing up in the meatballs itself. Not quite, chat. It's not an omelet. Starts with an M. So we got our bread, our Spam, or our off-brand Spam, onions, and garlic. What other seasoning are we going to throw in here? Going with those two, maybe some cumin? Cayenne. I already added salt, pepper, and MSG to the onion, and I don't need to add more to the Spam or the bread. We got meatballs. Let's do some oil in that pan. Chat didn't choose asparagus tonight. I think asparagus tips have been in that set of cans since the beginning, too. It's in the ballpark, Michael. In the ballpark. It reminds me in smell a little bit of cat food. It reminds me of Spam quite a bit too, so it's a pretty close in. Don't want to use that. Let's grab another bowl. Another bowl. Doubt that's true in Hawaii. I don't know what's worse, chat. Spam meatballs or muskrat. They're both American delicacies. I've never had muskrat. I just know that there's a percentage of people that apparently do. Pretty sure I've seen raccoon meats for sale too. That one's falling apart before it made it into the pan. Yeah, a couple of these need to be coddled before the egg solidifies. The biggest problem with these is this is already a cooked protein, so we're twice cooking a protein, and it doesn't work quite the same. That's why I definitely added egg into this. Without egg, this definitely wouldn't hold together nicely. I guess I could add some herbage into this too. in the D. Some of these are falling apart. Some of them are browning beautifully. Yeah, that's just going to fall apart. Nothing wrong with these two, but they're not holding together as meatballs, and I don't need that many just for tonight's dinner. We'll still use that meat, but I'm gonna just saute it and use it like loose meat separate. Damn. Another thing that's working against me is I should have gone even finer with the Spam. Like, I should have turned it into practically ground meat once again. There's a good 10-degree difference between this side and this side. You got the fan from the AC blowing this way, the fan blowing this way. And then over here, we have boiling water and hot pan. Those that have held together are looking gorgeous. I think we got some nice meatballs for our soup tonight. Do a bit of a larger dice on the onion that's going in the soup. Sitting here wondering how many tomatoes do I have in this thing. Hey, Mus. Welcome, welcome. We're working on Can It Be Delicious tonight for anyone just joining in. Chat has voted on cans among 25 of them. They have given me luncheon meat, almond pie filling, tomatoes, artichoke hearts, and cream of chicken. And it was, a very indecisive vote, too. So we have our sort of meatballs. Let's give a cook up to the rest of this. Make sure the egg in that all gets enough heat. Though despite every single round requiring a second round of votes, only one of them came to a coin tiebreaker. I think cream of chicken soup is an amazing hack for anyone that doesn't want to make the time to do an actual bechamel with a roux. Or a velouté with a roux, whichever. Has almost like a charred bologna smell when you cook it. I mean, they're basically the same thing. It's just different ratios of fat and grinds. The action of squeezing a small amount of a person's skin and flesh. What? Oh. Bit more oil in the pan. We'll get these onions going for in the soup. Actually, no, we're just skipping that. We don't even need sugar with this stuff, I don't think. Yeah, we're just skipping sugar with this stuff. This is almond pie filling or cookie filling or it's almond flavored sugar. Gotta cream your sugar and butter together, right, chat? I don't know if that was a good play or not to pull this out for this. The amount of time it's taken me to get most of it back out of it. I don't know what else I would have used to really nicely mix that butter in there, though. Potatoes there yet? Do I go 2 eggs or 1 egg, chat? I think I'm gonna go 1 egg. 1 egg. If I had a use for the white, I might do that. I don't typically split them, though, in my home. It was an all or nothing question. Why am I having you stare at a pan that's not even got a flame on it at the moment? Because I realized I needed to make cookies. A lot of the time when they call for a yolk, it is actually they just want to give you to use a half egg. The yolk is a little bit more fatty, and there are cases where you want to use the yolk over the white, but typically, like, at least half of the time, it's like, we want you to use half an egg. But we're just going to tell you a yolk. And telling you the yolk is probably the egg council at work. You know, tell them to use the egg yolk. It's the expensive part. Okay. Cookies. I need a pan and parchment. I chose not to use vanilla in this, since I thought the almond flavor was probably enough. I am debating, do I want to add any of the pecan pieces I have in the house? Have it almond pecan cookies. I think that's a good play. It's been a minute since I've been to Copia. I haven't been over there since, actually, the Culinary Institute of America took it over. But Copia had all sorts of lovely stuff about Julia. Like, they had a kitchen, their demo kitchen, dedicated to her. Let's just use them up. Ooh, I know what I maybe should have thrown in here is a little of the maple syrup I've got. Here's hoping I didn't make these too big. Yep, guess we're leaving that over there. And we got enough for a second pan. Well, considering I added no sugar to the cookie, I'm sort of already reducing the sweetness. I just did straight butter with that almond filling. Salt is just generally a good idea, but I don't think I'm going to do that with these. I guess I could maybe smush them down, though. Back to cooking the onions. Potatoes are still going. They're still not there yet. I want to cook those through. I want those basically like falling apart before we toss those with the cream of chicken and maybe yogurt, but probably just cream of chicken because how much there is there. I don't remember the name of the cookie, but these are giving me a vibe of an Italian pecan cookie that I remember. Speaking of interest, speaking of finance, we got any HODL guys out there? We got any meme stock investors in chat? One of the big time meme stock people on YouTube deleted his YouTube account today. Just out of the blue. By the way, chat, if you're ever curious what that interesting looking meat in your hash is from, yeah. Tomatoes going in the pan. Add our chicken stock in there. See if these are whole. Yeah, these are whole. So I'm gonna quarter these before they go into the soup. I swear, chat, I'm not always going to make soup on this challenge. I just realized that I've made soup, like, a lot during this challenge. Yeah, but it's not like I just dumped everything in there and made one thing with the soup, in my defense. Like, I'm doing potatoes, I'm doing meatballs, I'm doing cookies. I felt like it was a little bit more of a cop-out when I got 3 cans of tomatoes and I made tomato soup, but and then instead of going my typical heavy, all sorts of umami, deep, rich, I'm gonna throw some lemon juice in there. Brighten it up. If I can actually grab onto this without my hand slipping. New bottle of real lemon. I think we can put the butter back in the fridge. I was sort of hopeful we'd have the cookies out of the oven by the time the potatoes were ready to go in there. Huh. Oh, we're up the temp, are we? Beautiful. Let's throw our cookies in then. Now that it's all nicely up to a heat, I think we can... Oh, we're going to wait on the meatballs until the last second. We're going to wait on that until the last second. I'm debating if I still want to add the... Yeah, we should add some of the spinach in there too. And the spinach is all going to disappear, so... Probably should add almost the whole thing. Yep, that's all going in there, I think. Got a little under 9 minutes on our cookies, which I think is sort of our current waiting on item. Soup is pretty much there. We can just sort of finish that up. That's all ready to just drop in. We're really waiting on the potatoes. The potatoes, I still am not ready to pull these off of the water. And I want them to air dry a bit and get them coated with the cream of chicken. Get them all nice and crispy in the oven, coated into flavory soup. Oh, we're back to being able to see the timer on them. Nice. Of course, it sort of cuts off the bottom of the pan, too, when it's up that high. I think I'm going to take a 5-minute breather here. Let the kitchen try and cool down a little bit. And allow myself to cool down a little bit. And see your faces back. Commercial or two.
Your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better too because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip that's so good to serve with king-size Fritos corn chips. Just follow the recipe right on the Fritos package. Of course, it calls for the famous Philadelphia brand cream cheese, an 8-ounce package, which we blended with 2 tablespoons of milk till it's nice and smooth like so. Then come 2 tablespoons of Kraft cream-style horseradish for zesty flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and finally, a dash of salt. And we'll blend our Philly mixture again. And when party time comes, let the folks enjoy this wonderful Philly horseradish dip with crisp king-size Fritos. There are those busy hands. Just remember, you make the best-tasting dips with the freshest-tasting cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand cream cheese, made only by Kraft.
If you've ever been to Venice, you remember the gondolas and the picturesque waterways. And you remember the food, too. Superb food, prepared with that very special Italian touch. The same special Italian touch that Chef Boyardee sauce with meat can give to your meals over here. Because the recipe for this tangy sauce has been brought over from Italy by this famous Italian chef. Chef Boyardee sauce with meat is made from juicy, sun-ripened tomatoes and tender quality beef, simmered in a spicy sauce that makes a rice and cheese loaf, a casserole, or a spaghetti dish a real Italian-style dish. So when you'd like to add that special Italian touch to your dinner, do it with Chef Boyardee sauce with meat. Try Chef Boyardee sauce with mushrooms, too. Both are prepared from the chef's own Italian recipe.
Next week, George and Gracie will be brought to you by Carnation.
Hiya, happy boy. Wish you'd been with me today. We saw a great dog show, some beautiful dogs. There was the handsomest poodle, a real beauty, an international champion. His owner gave me some good advice.
There are many dog foods on the market, but the Carnation Company makes the best. It's called Friskies, and it's quality all the way through.
You should have seen the champion collie. He won everything in sight. The handler told me.
A very important part of this champion's diet is meat. That's why we feed him Friskies. The principal ingredient is lean red horse meat, the best you can buy.
So happy, you're getting real quality, and you're going to get your Friskies right now.
Friskies is prepared to the high standards of Carnation Company and guarantees prime-grade nourishment.
Off into space. Man, that takes...
Welcome back, chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, Alex. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We still got about 3 minutes on our first check on our cookies. They quite possibly could take a little bit longer. For anyone new in here, hello. We're doing Can It Be Delicious tonight. Chat took their time picking 5 cans for me to get used for dinner tonight. There was contention on every single round. There were multiple votes. There was coin flipping. It was crazy. Anyways, you lovely souls out there gave me artichoke hearts, cream of chicken, off-brand Spam, almond pie filling. Am I forgetting something there? Oh, and tomatoes. And so what I have chosen to do with these is I am doing the tomatoes and artichoke hearts together in a sort of light chickeny soup. I have made meatballs out of the Spam that are going to go in with the soup and some spinach. The potatoes are boiling because I'm going to coat those in the cream of chicken and then give them a roast in the oven until they're crispy. And the almond pie filling I turned into almond and pecan cookies, which are currently in the oven with a little more than a minute still on the first timer. There was a possibility of doing a spinach artichoke dip of some type. I chose to not do that because I could make and fry tortillas. I didn't feel like making and frying tortillas. So what do we think, chat? Are we going to have cookie butts? Are the cookies going to be ready? Or are they going to need longer? It smells like almonds. You know, I think I'm going to go with... Those didn't spread hardly at all. But I think I'm going to go with those. They puffed up nicely. They didn't spread much, though. So maybe too light on the butter, despite all the butter that I threw in there. I think those look pretty good. Yeah. They got some nice light brown on the bottom of them, which is my major indicator that they've had some good time in there. And I know from the portion that I scooped out that the time they should be cooked. Let's move these off of the counter. See if I can't reuse a bowl here. So I quartered up all of the artichoke hearts for putting into the soup. Let's grab a proper large bowl for this. We're starting to get there with these, but they're still not... Like, are they cooked through? They don't look like they're as cooked as I want them to be. They're nice and cooked through. I guess we'll go with them. I expected them to be a little bit more falling apart, but it just might be the variety. They might be holding together better. I'm gonna add these and that in there. The rinse out water from, I didn't rinse out the cream of chicken with that, but basically I was adding water with a hint of the cream of chicken. Do I have canned potatoes on the list of items? Canned potatoes was actually one of the winning cans last batch. I didn't buy a new can of them. They were like potatoes, like maybe silver dollar round potatoes. Okay, so now potatoes definitely cooked. We're gonna drop those into the cream of chicken. Let that cool down for a sec. Salt. Pepper. MSG. Nice bottoms. Using under this, aren't I? Yep. So now we give this a little bit of a swirl. I was hoping it was going to be loose enough that I could just toss it. But it ain't going to be tossable. They're going to be cranking the oven up to 450 and then individually placing these pieces to crisp up. With the cream of chicken over the top of them. Running out of room. and into that oven. It's not quite up to 450 yet, but I'm sure it'll get there. I'm going to take a look at those in 20 minutes here and see where they stand. See how crispy, crunchy they are, considering they're already cooked through. I've ramped it up to 450, so we should get some nice cooking going. We just really got to basically evaporate all the liquid out of what's left of the liquid in that cream of chicken, even though it's already condensed. Gone to a commercial. Gone to a commercial. Get this back up to a boil. In fact, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to use all of this spinach with us. We're going to put that in there. Use about half of it. That way we can put the rest of this back in the fridge. Let's see, is the bot going nuts? No, it seems to be doing okay. Bot's getting there. Like, it's now to the point where I'm no longer just like coding nonstop between streams. Now it's gotten to the point where I'm like, do a stream, correct things, see where we can get with things, take a review next stream. Most part, everything is like there's problems and hiccups here and there, and there's bugs. There's things that I haven't fully tested through or used yet, but it's working pretty smoothly. I know I'm jinxing myself by saying that. Speaking of that, still the same suggestions there, though. That needs work. Alright, so now that the ads are over, I think we got some cakey. Yeah, we got some cakey cookies here. I'm shocked by that, by the amount of butter that I threw in these. Then again, maybe the almond filling, like, you can make almond flour. There's some other things in there that could have been absorbents. I can see. They're delicious. They're cakey. They're very almondy. They're sweet, but not overly sweet at all. And you get a little bit of crunch from the pecan pieces. I think those are quite lovely for being absolutely freehand out of a can that I had no clue what the actual sugar content was. Yeah, that was yummy. Well, seems like the great peacemaker has not made any peace. Let's see what else is on in the news. Check out what all is listed by the bot in the news. Ooh, that sounds just like Yelp, too. Yelp is apparently creating AI videos about restaurants. Is the title of this article. That one's sort of inevitable, too, on one end from where AI is going to take things, but yeah, that is so Yelp. I am not a fan of Yelp whatsoever. I found it actually quite disgusting how during COVID they set up fundraisers for all sorts of restaurants without their permission or even their knowledge, collected money for them, and in some cases, you know, they weren't even signed into the thing. Like, collecting money for them that they're never gonna get. It's done a number of other things that are sort of shady like that in the past, too. And it's just like a... And you know it has to be, at least from my perspective, you know it has to be a lie. Like, you have to create this community or even have positive reviews on places. Like, the only reason people are gonna really bother with a review is they really got the hookup and they thought it was an amazing place. Or the most likely thing is something annoyed them about it and they're gonna complain about it. It astonishes me that anything has a good rating on that site. "5 minutes in, let's take a look at these puppies." Okay. I have no idea if these are gonna cook up nicely. The potato, like, I know the flavor's gonna be great, but I have no idea if it's gonna really beautifully brown, if it'll crisp up deliciously. Like, the best route here is basically really soft butter, like room temperature butter in those potatoes, where it's still emulsified but it's soft. That'll get you that super crisp outside on them. Yeah, isn't that part of the whole Paramount thing, Michael? Like, sort of a weird swing Paramount's making with, they're gonna do, they've got South Park and MMC, but they're ditching late night and thinking about that, maybe it's moving away from brands around an individual. I don't know. Oh, I missed the second half of your message, Michael. Or rather, I read the first half. I read about the canceled part. So it was just a marketing thing. Nah. It's sad. The price change, while in some cases very much necessary in my mind. Like, the articles, why the $2.99 snack wrap is the secret sauce for McDonald's success. Have we forgot about the dollar menu already? The $3 snack wrap is their key seller. No, there isn't. The Tesla restaurant's already bleeding its menu down and scrapping things, and yeah, I don't think it's long for this world. what we got on cooking trends. On the last batch of articles here to chat about while we're waiting on these potatoes. And oddly, a lot of political articles in the cooking trend. Yep. That's about, yeah. It's almost tripled, yeah. And it's like, it's fast food. Like, you're gonna triple the price. And that's what I think of a major thing that's hitting that it's already hit fast food, but that is affecting fast food these days, or they're compensating for these days, is they're now competing against the Applebee's, the Red Lobsters, the Denny's, because we have delivery services that are picking everything up. They're competing with the Asian restaurant someone mentioned the other night too, P.F. Chang's. There's a lot of restaurants that went super hard into delivery. And so fast food is still, like, it hasn't happened really the way I envisioned it, but it is still happening. And fast food is going to be 100% a convenience product. It is in the exact location where you are, and you are hungry. I still envision these fast food companies at some point ditching having to pay for, like, they're still going to keep some physical locations, but in general, I can see them ditching property, various equipment all over the place from all sorts of different manufacturers and employees, and all of the issues with all of that, and just turned it into a mass-produced, autonomous taco truck, essentially. Like, you vertically integrate that service into a factory that's putting, a gigafactory that's outputting taco trucks for Taco Bell that can be at the high points, they can be at the college campus at lunch break, later on be at the high school sports ball game. But we need autonomous vehicles for that first. Thanks, Luan. Let's take a look at these taters a couple minutes early. I think those still can go a little bit longer. I think about 5 more minutes on those. They got some nice color, but I think we can do more. Actually, I lied. 7 minutes. Oh, I've seen videos, Michael, of several different types, and when I was a kid, I went through an auto factory where they did all the paint, like the painting area of auto factories. They're astonishing. I love that sort of stuff, by the way. Like, I love how things work. That's why I got into food in the first, like, all the techniques, all the different ways things are done. But autos, like, they dip them whole in paint, like, and store them in giant, colorless or lightless warehouses where robots are picking them out by order as they need them. And much like there's all sorts of like different robots I've seen now for warehouses, whether they're their own little mini shelf that they're moving around, or they're picking up, like there was the most recent, that wasn't the big robotics company. I'm forgetting what company that was. That was showing off their hand robot that can put oddly shaped items in a fabric hanging divider. It is astonishing. It's amazing the tech that's gone into logistics. I'd love to see, what I'd really love to see is the, I'm sure there's videos on it too, but the FedEx setup in Atlanta. It's probably too big to really comprehend. Like, gonna go ahead and add our veggies in with the soup. Let's start with trying to stir in most of the spinach first. Make sure that gets wilted down in there. Now we'll add our artichoke hearts. And we'll carefully place our meatballs back down in here. Oh, if they're not falling apart, you put them down in there. One of the girls, I don't think she was in my exact class, but one of the girls that was at the CIA with me ended up actually being a manager of one of their warehouses. And she has parted ways with them since then, but I've heard stories. there's memes about it too. You know, like they've got robotic factories that they've air conditioned, and yet their people staffed ones are not. Be honest, chat, how many people read that dad joke and changed their posture? Make sure that's back up to a bubble. Make sure all that spinach is fully cooked through. And we got our cream of chicken potatoes. Let's get ourselves a bowl of soup. Actually, let me double check this for seasoning. I want a proper soup spoon here. I'm okay without that. We're good with that. I'm not going to add any more salt in there. We're good with that. So we got on the bottom of some of these potatoes some nice golden browns, some nice crispiness. But they're nice and soft at the same time. Actually, no, I don't think we're going to use a smaller plate. A few of these were too tightly packed, so they're not looking all that great, but that looks amazing. Throw a little of this good homemade stuff in there. This is a very nice light soup with all the lemon that I put in there and the chicken stock in the base. These are looking lovely. I haven't even tried one, but if you like cream of chicken, you like potatoes. You gotta like potatoes too, but Do I do any parsley in that soup? I'm gonna leave it without it. I have. Cookies are delicious. They're nice and fluffy and cakey. Wasn't really the plan I was going for. I wasn't going overly cakey with them, but they are a bit cakey. And soft, cakey, soft, strong almond flavor, not overly sweet, but noticeably sweet. And nice little chunks of pecan in there give you a little bit like that soft crunch that pecan does. It's not a hard crunch. They're yummy, just like these are. These are my star of tonight, I think, in my world. Like, this was a win. This was a win. This was All-Star. These were acceptable. They're okay. They're tasty. They're a nice cookie. I think I did great for, not knowing the exact what is in that can, making a decent cookie out of them. These, don't expect them to be super crispy though. Like, if you want the super crispy ones, you go for the butter. These ones, they've got a nice, they've got that cream of chicken flavor dried and coated on the outside of them. And they're just nice and cooked through, and it almost helped solidify them back together. It's almost like I coated them in cheese or something. Like, they're a little more solidified, a little more held together. At least where they got enough spacing on them. There were a couple of these that were too close to each other. And after they set for a minute, they're fine, but they were a little bit light, and they weren't quite. But most of them turned out delicious. I think just maybe this one and this one were a little bit too light. The rest of them were. But I do think that wraps things up for tonight. I think that's where we're going to leave things for this evening. I think this was one heck of a lot more of a success than 3 cans of tomato soup night. I think this is a great night. This is a good one. I was a little hesitant going into tonight's stream. I was very much worried about me not having enough stuff as far as a pantry to pull something together. But it worked. I appreciate you joining me for it. Okay. This is where I shall leave it. I'm not going to read out tonight. I am going to be back here on Sunday. Don't have plans in the menu for Sunday. I'm going to do something. I hope you come to join me for it. We got more fun stuff coming up. We got pizza on Monday. I do have that in the menu. I'm going to do super olive pizza. So if you like olives, you got to see me on Monday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Go out, have some fun tonight. It's Friday. Relax, party, have a good time. Unless you work in the restaurant industry. Good night.